Hey everybody, welcome back to another install video. Today is going to be kind of fun. Kind of been waiting on this one a little bit. We are going to be putting on a intake from Roc-Euro, and I hear that this thing has got fantastic turbo noises that everybody likes to hear. So here's what all comes with the kit. So I got this off a group buy that we had on Audi Design. And thank you for Miranda at Nemesis putting that together. So we have 3 parts in the kit. This plate here, which I think is a bottom plate, and we've got this one that separates kind of the engine from the exhaust or from the intake side. And I must say this piece is pretty nicely constructed. I like that little detail right there. I think it's kind of cool. And the way that all these parts kind of go on. So your intake elbow is going to attach to this piece, and then your intake filter is going to attach to that. I think it's kind of a cool little way to do it, honestly. At the bottom, we've got these little wing nuts down here off these legs. And then I'm pretty sure that this plate attaches here. I don't think it's going to be that difficult to do. The owner of Roc-Euro, John, he has a video out putting this onto an SQ5, and says that someone called him out for him saying that you can't do this in 5 minutes. And so he was doing it apparently in freezing conditions, and the camera cut off at the 5-minute mark. So you don't really get to see the final bits of the install. And honestly, the camera angle was not that good, so it didn't really show you a lot of how the install went down. So I'm going to try to fix that. I'm going to try to set this up somewhere in the engine bay to where you can see what's going on. And I am going to try to do it in this 5-minute mark. I've kind of done a little prep work looking at this. I think everybody should before they do an install. So I kind of have my tools out that I think I'm going to need. So we've got, a standard drill. And, I see a lot of people in videos using hand tools, which nothing against hand tools, they work. I just like to do it quicker. So power drill with a pretty long extension on it for anything that's going to be Phillips head. I saw John, I think he used a flathead at some point. Just have that out just in case. So we've got an 8mm socket. This is for the clamp that's on the filter. And then we've got a 7mm, and that's for the intake elbow. Got another extension and a T25 right here. I think that's all we're gonna need. So let me get the SQ5 in here and get everything kind of set up camera-wise. I wanna make sure you guys get the best angle, and we will go from there. So let's get into it. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to throw a little bit more information out there. The kit comes very well packed. No issues with any of the parts. It does not come with install instructions. So I went to Roc-Euro's site, and there's not, or at least I couldn't find, I was doing it on my phone, maybe it's different on a PC, but I could not find any specific written instructions on how to do it. I think there's claims on there that there's plenty of pictures and some videos online, and that's fine. Utilize whatever resources you can, right? So that's not on there. So I hope that what I'm going to be showing you is kind of how it's supposed to go. I think everybody has given me enough information to figure out what's going on, and I've done enough intakes to where it shouldn't be that hard. The one other thing part-wise that I need to mention is this. This is a 4mm hex, and that is for the screws that go in here to hold down this plate here. So I'm going to be filming from right there, should give you enough height, but kind of the overall what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this piece off here, and if you've never done that, there's a little push button right there that you just push in, then pull up, and it just pops right off. Then this whole plate, it's all pops along here, pull it up, slide it off. Pretty sure the engine cover does not have to come off, but I might, maybe not sure. And then we'll loosen the intake elbow right here, and we kind of wiggle it loose. Then the whole air box itself just pulls straight up, and then you can pull the rest of the pipe off. Then the air box comes out. there's maybe some two little feet in the bottom of this air box that you might have to pull off some grommets or something in there. I'm not really sure what it looks like yet. And then at that point, the whole air box is out and you just start putting in the Roc-Euro kit. So yeah, it should be pretty easy peasy. So let's get ready. Okay, let's see how fast we can get this done. And go. Push the button in, pull that off. This piece just lifts out, slides up under this lip right here. These are the T25s. Put those to the side. And this just comes out like that. You loosen up the intake elbow, so we will use the 7mm socket for that. Clamp is loose. Loosen it up just a little bit. Box lifts up. Pulls out just like that. Looks like one of these little grommet pieces came on one of the posts, so it looks like we might only have to get one out maybe. Set that to the side. Yep, and these little grommets, so I'm going to use a flat head to get down in here. Just kind of, actually didn't even use a flat head, just pulled it straight out like that. Use a light to see what we're dealing with. Okay. So, I want to show you all this real quick. Look down in here. This is the holes we're talking about right here and right there. And from what I understand, we're going to take these little wing nuts and push it down through those holes. In order to do that though, I've heard that we need to have some pressure on them just to be sure that they sit down there pretty easly. The way this orients is the Roc-Euro is going to go facing you. So let's kind of slide that down in there. And so literally just kind of taking the, and I'll probably just take that off real quick, might be easier. Taking this and pushing that on the head of the wing nut. Lift up test, seems on there. Put that back on. Now I think that we should pull up on this bracket to give it some tension. Just kind of go back and forth. And we'll take the elbow on this side here. Switch back to the 7mm. Mils there. That feels tight, but just be sure don't want any rattles. All right, seems tight. So let's see the orientation of this. I think probably just like that. Which, yes, that makes the most sense, I think. Might want to consider maybe putting some Loctite. Some blue Loctite on these, just so maybe it doesn't want to wiggle out. Those are tight. We're going to go ahead and put the intake snorkel tube thing back in its home with the T25s. Put the splash shield back on, slide up under. Hood latch back on. Now, essentially we're done. The only thing that I need to do is put this on, and that would literally just be putting it here, sliding it on just like that, tighten that 8mm down, and we're good. So cut the timer. So before I put the filter on, I just want to show y'all some parts real quick, just for clarity. So these are the two screws that held on this plate. So now you can see the orientation of that plate. Okay. These deep holes right there and right there, sorry, I can't get the focus in. So those are where the wing nuts were, that you just have to get, where'd it go? You know, something long, and you push down on the head and you'll hear them click in place. That means that they're through the holes that I showed you earlier, and the holes look a lot like this right here. So push those through. You will have to take this bracket and you will have to pull up on it to prevent the wing nuts from spinning around. So when you pull up, then you tighten down, because it gives it the resistance for the wing nuts to catch up underneath the bottom, and that way to pull it down. So just alternate, you know, front to back, until it gets tight all the way. And then the elbow is literally, you know, just attached right there, down to the turbo, and then everything else kind of goes back like factory. What I do kind of like about this is that, you know, this long snorkel right there still kind of is being utilized. You know, it's putting colder air or ambient air into the filter area, which is nice. I will continue to say that it's really nicely constructed. I do like the ideas behind it. I do like the rubber that's along here. So let's get this filter on and take it for a drive. I'm ready to hear these turbo noises. Okay, that is the end of this install video. So I hope you guys continue to like this kind of content. If you do, please hit that like button, and feel free to subscribe. I'm still going to be posting as many videos as I can as I get things done. I think next thing up, I'm getting the AWE mufflers put on in about a week. We'll see how that mixes in. So feel free to subscribe. That way you can get notifications of whenever I post new things like this. So until next time, later.